Hi guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Ginny, and as always, I thank you very much for choosing to spend some time with me. This week we are continuing our conversation about skirts. This is probably the third week in a row, but rest assured, if you're not into skirts, this will also probably be the last one for a while. We'll move on to something else after this. But last week and the week before, I was talking about reasons why I have not really worn a lot of skirts in the last few years. So one reason that I forgot to mention that is actually pretty crucial is that I have a really hard time styling skirts. I find skirts that I really like or ideas of skirts that I really like, and then I have a hard time finding something to put with them. So we will get to that in just a second. Before I do, I want to share with you the skirts that I made this week. Or not just this week, over the last few weeks. The first one I made was the Sewing Therapy Ciotat skirt. This is a wrap skirt with a drop yoke, drop yoke waist, and a gathered skirt. The yoke does have a little bit of shaping in it. It's not just straight across. It actually has like a little bit of a curve around the bottom of the yoke, which I actually really liked. This skirt is supposed to be unlined. It's just a yoke with ties on it. There's no lining to that yoke. I chose to add a lining to my yoke just because I have a little bit of a belly, and I feel like if I have a fabric that's a little stiffer, it can like hold me in a little bit, and I feel like that's just a little more comfortable for me. This skirt, let's see, I'm going to put a picture of it right here for you just with a t-shirt on with it. This one, I think this goes up to a 3X. I cut a size large in the hips, and I graded up to an XL at the waist. As it turned out, I ended up taking the hips in a little teeny bit more, so it's probably more like a medium in the hip and an XL in the waist, or more or less straight up and down. This one here is made in a cotton sheet that I got from the thrift store. I've just had really good luck with cotton sheets in colors at the thrift stores and yard sales lately. And this was more or less a wearable muslin. I just threw it together to see if it would work. I had no issues with this pattern. Let me just say, I printed the pattern at home, which I don't usually do these days. I usually have it sent out and I usually have it printed on AO file. But this piece only had 6 printer pages to put together, so I just printed it at home. It was super easy, and you just have pattern pieces for the yoke, and then she gives you very clear directions on how to cut the skirt panels, which are all just rectangles. Okay, I did no other alterations except for lining that yoke and what I told you about changing the waist to hip measurement. So let's take a couple of looks. Let's take a look at a couple of pictures of ways I was trying to put this together. So this first one that I showed you is this, obviously with just a plain white t-shirt. In this picture it's tucked in, and this is a pretty, for me, it's a pretty fitted t-shirt. Then the next thing I tried it with was the shirt I have on right now, which is my Vivian Shao Chen Laurence top. Now this one is a little bit cropped, and it's also a little bit boxy. I don't dislike this with this skirt, but I'm not 100% sold on it either. The third thing I tried this with was this. This is a Jalie shirt called the Rose shirt, and I made this back in 2020, and I haven't gotten rid of it because I really like it, even though I don't wear it very often. I thought it could be cute with a skirt, so I tried it just like hanging out, which I don't really like. It's okay. It's okay. I tried it tied up at the waist, which I do not like. And I tried it, I thought if it was just like a little bit more fitted in the back so that it could split open at the waist, then I would like that. So I just held it in the back so you could see what that would look like here. I don't know. I have to tell you, I'm not 100% sold on any of these ideas. I do like this skirt. I don't know, honestly, if this is something I will really wear. Okay, so then I moved on to the Spaghetti Western Sewing Henrietta skirt. This pattern I cut in a size small. I think the finished measurement for the waist and hip in the small was 47 inches. And I did a muslin of this and it seemed like a little too big, so I cut just the front and back panels down to a size extra small, which took out about maybe 2 inches from the total circumference. So it was pretty much 45 inches at the end of the day, and my hips are 39, so my waist is 34 or somewhere around there. Yeah, so that is the only alteration I did to this. I didn't do anything else. Like the Ciotat, this skirt was super easy to put together. It went together like that. It was really fast, quick, and easy. This time I used this sort of rustic feeling cotton. It's a pretty, I'd call it a light to medium weight, sort of textured gingham that I got from Lake's Makery in Minnesota. You can see here, again, I'll show you a picture of it with just the t-shirt. Again, this is probably the way I would wear this most likely. The way I would be most likely to wear this. I'm not crazy about it because white t-shirt just seems a little bit boring or like an obvious choice. I don't know. Maybe a white t-shirt is just what it needs. I did also try this with the Vivian Shao Chen tank, and again, this is pretty cute to me. I actually think I would wear it like this. Trying to see if I can find, even from the side, I think it looks okay. Not as crazy about it from the back, but I think I'm okay with that. I like the whole thing. I think I would wear the Vivian Shao Chen with this. I did also try it with the, what did I say that was called? The rose shirt from Jalie, and I really hate this. Like, I would never, ever, ever wear this shirt with this skirt. Ruffles on the shoulders and ruffles around my elbows, like way too much. I feel like an extra from like the cast of Oklahoma or something. But I thought I would try it and see, and I definitely wouldn't do that. So you can see, and maybe it's just because I chose 2 skirts that are gathered like at the hip, that I was having trouble figuring out what to wear with them. I definitely think that for me, a straighter skirt, something without a lot of gathers around the hips or the waist, is probably an easier thing for me to style. But I'm really curious to know if you guys have suggestions on styling this type of skirt. I also don't have a lot of shoes that I was crazy about with either of these, and that's just down to color more than anything. But anyways, yeah, let me know if you have styling suggestions. Like, what kind of a top do you think is best with this type of skirt, is what my question is. Okay. That is all I sewed this week, or the last couple of weeks. I do have a muslin cutout of this one here. The company's name is TOTO something. It's on Etsy. And I can't remember the name of the skirt. I think it's just a midi skirt. But I'll link all of these things for you below. Anyways, I do have this one cut out in a muslin, and I'm going to try to get that together in the next day or so and see how I like that, and if I find that that is a little bit easier for me to style. It's also possible, you guys, I mean, that I just need different style of tops to wear with these things. So, like I said, let me know what you think. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to tell you guys about, I have been trying to not buy much fabric lately. I just have a lot of fabric in my stash, and I'm not trying to expand my stash. I'm trying to work with what I have. However, I have been following Fluid Plus Drape for a while, and they just recently dropped their Roma print from for summer. I'll show it to you right here. It is a giant Roma tomato print, and they have it in several colors. They also have this in a 100% cotton, 100% organic cotton, and then they also have it in a cotton linen. So I was really intrigued. I wasn't really sure what to expect. It said lightweight, sort of lawn type weight. So I ordered it because I was crazy about it. And this stuff showed up in the mail yesterday. I just wanted to show you. This is the mauve colorway, which is not a color I like, but it reads really green and red, and I really am totally in love with it. You can see even just from this that it's a little bit sheer. You can also see how light and airy it is. I have not washed this yet, but it's absolutely lovely. I really, really love this. I have a Matchy Matchy Sewing Club pattern that I have in mind for this, but I need to make a muslin of that first. Anyways, I love this stuff. I just noticed today that they have another new print called Butter, which is also silly and very, very cute. So check those out if you're interested. So the other thing they have that is not an exclusive to them, but it is lovely. This is their sand washed cotton poplin, and I just thought I would show you guys what this is like. This is the bubblegum color. It's actually looking a little like purpley on my screen, but it's definitely a bubblegum color. And this is exactly what I think of when I think of a poplin. Again, you can almost kind of see, you can see it's tiny bit transparent maybe. But it's really, it's got a very beautiful crisp hand to it. Yeah, and it's definitely heavier than the lawn, but it's got a really, really cool crisp hand, and I just love this stuff. So anyways, I just thought I'd let you guys know in case anybody else had been thinking about trying to order from them and seeing what their fabrics were like. Okay, and the last thing is, on last week's video, me and Mex left me a comment pointing me in the direction of a video about AI and how it's being used to create sewing patterns, specifically like small indie patterns. I found this video really, really interesting. It's over on a channel called Cat's Costumery, and again, I will leave that link for you below. But you guys should check it out. I found it really interesting. That, I think, is it for me this week. Next week, I think we're going to be doing an upcycle for next week. We shall see how we get along. Until then, I wish you all happy sewing.